5 rounds with Mackenzie Dern and didn't tap. So, I feel like that seemed like a tough fight for her. But then when they offered her the girl that the striker was able to submit, she said yes. So I just thought I'm like, okay, you played your cards right. Like you waited for the fight that seemed a little easier to you at the time, and she was able to get the win.
Hello and welcome into the Beast with Brains podcast. Joining us today is the number 12th ranked UFC Strawweight. It is Angie Overkill Hill. She's also the host of the Two Straws podcast with her best friend, Jessica Penne. How are you doing, Angie? I really feel like your relationship that you have with Jessica is goals for me. You guys are just best friends, do so much things together, like train and all that. So how's life over there with San Diego and all your girls?
It's great. We have a great group of girls. Me and Jessica, obviously, but I've been training with Jenna Bishop, who's been like a huge help with my jujitsu game. Kat Zagano has been around for a long time, and she's been like training with us a lot more often in the recent years too. Ashley Yoder started training with us like, also like recently, and then we got people coming in from different states as well who will come through just to sure up their game or learn some new tricks, and it's been good. Like I can have a solid fight camp with all women, and they're all talented. Like they're all like good training partners and not just like the girl that you beat up to get to feel good about yourself. So we have like a real good like girl group out here, and we're just like testing each other's strengths and making each other get better day by day.
Yeah, I remember when I visited to get a few interviews with Tina Pettigrew when she was competing with Combate Global. It was a Friday
Yeah.
spar day for you guys. So that's kind of just like the routine and the environment that you guys have cultivated over all these years.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. I think part of the reason that happened was all the gyms shut down in 2020, and then I started putting my training into my own hands, like calling people up saying, hey, can we get together and just like have a sparring session, or hey, I want to work on these things. And eventually we just ended up like having a big group chat with a bunch of the girls who are in San Diego. And I think also posting like the group training pictures, and you see all these names that you recognize in there. You see how good the training room is. Some days we'll have like people from every promotion in the same training room, and it just like is that whole iron sharpens iron thing. I've never I don't know. It makes me jealous of the guys. You know what I mean? Like they can go into any gym and get that, but for girls, it's a lot harder. So yeah, I really like the little environment that we created. Tina, she's been out here in San Diego forever too. We actually met each other in New York. She started training like a year later at the same place that I started training for Muay Thai in New York. So she came out once she wanted to start doing MMA. She came out to San Diego with me, and yeah, we got a lot of good people, and a lot of good chicks to call on when we need training partners.
Well, I definitely am happy that you guys made the switch from New York to San Diego. It seems like more your guys' vibe weather-wise too.
I know. Otherwise, you can't beat it. But New York, it makes you tough. Like you're not scared of anything when you're in New York. I'm like, if I could walk or ride a subway home by myself at 3 a.m. after a long shift, like I could do anything. I could do anything in San Diego at least. Like I'm not scared. So yeah, I like my years in New York. I feel like it made me tough. I was out there. I went there for college in 20, what was it, 2003. And then I lived there until about 2014. So I feel like I'm an honorary New Yorker, or at least I was. Now I'm just a beach bum.
And there's never been any consideration of maybe part-time or ever full-time Las Vegas with the PI being here.
I mean, when taxes come around, then yeah, but I don't know. I don't like being in Vegas. Like it's too hot usually, or sometimes it's too cold. Like really, the only thing to do is like debauchery. Maybe I gotta spend more time out there aside from fight week, and then I'll see some of the more fun things to do for like healthy living, but I just
Yeah.
feel like super dehydrated. I'm always hungover. Like everything. I always feel like trash when I come back from Vegas. It'd be hard sell for me to move out there.
Yeah, it's definitely extreme weather conditions. I think the main thing that people come here for is the UFC, but you have everything that you need over there in San Diego. And I'm sure the level of jujitsu that you get training with the Alliance team is so great. And that's why you've been challenging yourself in some of the hardest competitions you could potentially do. ADCC trials, for one, that is something that like people go out there and they come in to rip someone's head off. I know that the ADCC East Coast trials was announced for November 15th and 16th. Is that something that you're looking at competing again in?
Yeah, I'd love it. Now that I understand the rules a little bit more, I feel like I could at least get past the first match. My ADC C trial last time was kind of a dud. Like I got penalized and then I couldn't pass, and yeah, it just ended up being a whole thing where I'm like, I don't understand. I hate this. This is stupid. So now that now that I gotta get what happened, it really like that match actually forced me to get better at passing guard. And I feel like every time I get out there and compete, I learn a little something that makes my MMA game a lot better. So I've been grinding in the jiu-jitsu department. I've been training with Alliance a lot. PJ PJ's opened up his 10th planet too, just like PJ Barch, he's opened up his 10th planet just down the street from where I live too. So every now and then I'll sneak in there and get some lessons from him. And then J Flo, Justin Flores, he's been teaching a lot too, right down the street from Alliance. So I have a lot of sources to pull my grappling from. I was also working a lot with Phil Davis. He's part of our like MMA nomad team, SoCal Fight Collective. And when he's not getting ready for a fight, he's running wrestling class. So we have a lot of different places to kind of learn and get better, a lot of idea swapping. And then the competing with it is just making it easier for me to actually do it in fights. And the funny thing is, people keep saying, or at least people keep forgetting that I grapple in my fights. So like they're like, oh yeah, Angela Hill, she's a striker, she's gonna do this. So and so's gonna have to take him down, and then I get the takedowns. You know, I get the top position. I go for submissions. So I think it's funny that I've been able to change the narrative for myself, and I stopped looking at myself as a striker who has to stand and bang, and more so as just a mixed martial artist who can do take the fight anywhere they want.
And as you mentioned, getting that top position, getting them to the ground. One of your most awesome submissions was the one that also got you a performance of the night, mounted guillotine. So can you kind of take me back to that time? What was it like for you in the moments before you were about to get the submission? And then after the fact, when you found out that it earned performance of the night?
Like part of the reason I compete is so I can learn how to pull the trigger. Because if you watch that fight, there were maybe three times that I could have gotten that guillotine, but I hesitated because I wasn't sure if it was time to do it yet. You know, like I wasn't sure if I had a good bite on it. I wasn't sure if she was gonna let me get it, if what was gonna happen if her head slipped out. Like there was a lot of doubting myself in those first couple of times, and then in the second round, finally, I just said, fuck it, let's do it. Like, I know it's the position, let's do it. And so I went, and it was almost like she took me down, but I also kind of slid into it, and I was able to get the guillotine, roll her over, and get the tap. And that's something we've been working on since I fought Lupi Godinez, because I was like, dude, I know I could guillotine her. The way that she shoots, she like just drives her head through like a wrestler, you know, like a stubborn wrestler. So I was like, ooh, I know I could get the guillotine on her. And like, you know, when you fight someone with a big head, you're like, oh yeah, it'll be hard for them to pull it out. So I was actually kind of surprised because there was, I forget what it was, but there was a different submission that I was thinking might happen with the Pinheiro fight. But because I had drilled that guillotine so much for a few fights beforehand, it was like in the muscle memory. So I was really happy to be able to like get the bite, get the torque just right, like we had practiced, and get the finish.
Yeah, and it's always nice to get the finish when sometimes you are involved with some of the most notoriously mismanaged decisions. And I heard one of your conspiracy theories on all these judges being in a group chat and potentially conspiring for different outcomes. But at this point in your career, you've probably seen it all, not only in your own fights, but also in other people's fights. So, what is your general takeaway when things go to the judges? Like, do you just you don't know what to expect, so you just let things be as they come?
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. Like my last fight was a split decision, and I just looked up like in the sky. I didn't know what was gonna happen, what they who they were gonna pick. I tried to do the things that I knew would have favored people who have fought me, like tried to get top position. I tried to throw big. I tried to, have more big moments, even if the person was blocking or even if they were you know, not really getting taken down, just shooting and pressing the action. That was something that I feel like hurt me in the Watterson fight, even though I landed more, I did more damage. Just her trying really hard to do something and not land anything in the last round, I feel like that won her the fight. And I don't think it should be like that, but I felt like that's what happened. And it was also the reason why I started focusing on my grappling more, because I felt myself shell up when she went for a takedown at some point in the fight, and I was like, ah man, if I just had more confidence in my grappling, I wouldn't be so worried if I got taken down. So these are all things that I've been bringing into my fights since, and yeah, I was happy I got the split, but I wasn't confident, that it was gonna happen because I've been screwed so much. I've had fights where I felt like I dominated every round, I finished every round strong, and I still didn't get the decision. And sometimes it's unanimous decision for the other person. So it's just something that I've always wanted to get better at, and I've actually always been jealous of Jillian, the way that she's able to finish fights. Like that's something that when I saw her, getting more submissions and starting to break records with how many times she could submit people. You look at the stats, and especially with strawweight weight class, most of the finishes come via armbar. Most of them come via rear naked choke. They're mostly submissions. You rarely see a strawweight knockout. So I realized, like, if I want to start finishing fights, I'm a little undersized too. Like I started my career at 110 and 105, like in Muay Thai. So if I want to drop these girls, I feel like the best way to try to do it is with grappling, because then it doesn't matter if you're the smaller person in the cage, you still have all your techniques to get them out of there.
Yeah, and you mentioned Julian, who just recently fought on the UFC Des Moines card. And I remember meeting you guys back in the day with high rollers, and just seeing how much you guys have been able to accomplish in your MMA careers is so awesome to see. But it's also very interesting to see when there's a little bit of trash talk or calling each other out online. And that's why it sent me when you posted, funny, Savage UFC, her Twitter name, had the chance to try and retire me and turned it down. Hashtag scared. So what was the motivation for you to put that tweet out there?
I think, well, I was there live and I was watching a fight, and I'm watching, Marina Rodriguez walk in, and she already looked kind of defeated, and I was like, oh, this is like really intense. I just thought that was the way she looks when she walks in there. But then after the fight and after the finish, it just looked like she kind of gave up, and like she looked stuck. Like Jillian's top pressure looked really good on in mount, but she just stopped fighting. And as she's doing her like post fight speech, you see Rodriguez start taking her gloves off, and I'm like, oh no, because this is like someone that I've enjoyed watching. I love her knockouts. I love, like, what she does on the feet. So when I saw her taking the gloves off, I was a little surprised. And as I realized she's taking the gloves off, I hear Jillian go, and I'm just trying to retire all these girls. And I was like, what? The old lady fighter in me, my heart dropped for poor Rodriguez, and I'm sure she did, or Rodriguez. I'm sure she didn't hear it, but yeah, it just seemed really disrespectful. So I thought it'd be funny to mention the fact that she turned down a fight with me after I got that sub over Luana Pinheiro. I was ranked number 9 at the time, and I think she was ranked like, I forget, but she was like, she had just won a fight, so she was breaking into the top 15 for strawweights, I believe, or maybe she wasn't ranked yet, but I was ranked number 9, and they gave me her name for a certain date. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, let's do it." And then they said she turned it down. So I thought it was funny because I'm like, "Hey, this girl's talking about retiring people. I'm 40 this year, I'm at a retirable age, but I feel like I can keep going." So I thought it'd be funny to poke fun at the fact that she didn't want to fight me last year.
So what do you think her reasoning was for not wanting to fight you last year?
What's that?
What do you think her reasoning was for not wanting to fight you when they offered it?
They said that she didn't want to fight me because she needed more than 8 weeks to make the weight. So yeah, that's the
Very
reason, I guess.
interesting.
But for me, and I get that some people need a full fight camp to make weight. Like that's like one of my uh favorite people in the world is Wilson Hayes. He's walking around at like 180 right now, but he used to fight at 125. So like like someone like that, I'm like, okay, yeah, some people, they need time to cut weight, but even someone like him, he'd be able to make the weight in 8 weeks. So I just thought it was a bit of an excuse. Like maybe she wants someone who's gonna be a little less tough, someone who's gonna be submittable. Like I went 5 rounds with Mackenzie Dern and didn't tap. So, I feel like that seemed like a tough fight for her. But then when they offered her the girl that the striker was able to submit, she said yes. So I just thought, I'm like, okay, you played your cards right. Like you waited for the fight that seemed a little easier to you at the time, and she was able to get the win. Not the submission, but she was able to get the win.
Yeah, these dots are definitely connecting now, and I'm glad that you took it to Twitter to let them know because she's obviously part of Goat Shed, and some of the trash talking tactics are really just very strong from Goat Shed. So I think it's good that when someone like you like puts yourself out there and has a trash talking aspect as well, because it balances. Like you're just matching each other's energy, and I think it would be awesome for her to come out in an interview and someone ask the same question, like, "Oh, why did you duck the fight with Angela Hill?" And I think there could be a potential fireworks in the making with that. I know another fight that you were particularly interested in running back someday was a fight with Amanda Lemos. Why is that one in particular for you, out of all the ones on your record, one that you would like to get back?
It's the most recent one where I was devastated by the scorecards. Like I fought back after having a little adversity in the first round. Honestly, that the end of the first round, the only thing she hit me with was that push kick to the face. The rest of the round, I was landing on her, I was shooting on her, I was doing all the things that you're supposed to do. So I understood her getting the first round, but the second and third, it was all me. And then there was a point in the third round where I heard one of the commentators say, "Oh, someone has to do something big here." And then that's like a few seconds later, I landed a spinning back elbow. She fell over. I jumped on top. She jumped back up. But it was a big moment. And I don't think they registered it as a connection. I think they registered it as a slip, but I connected. Like you don't just fall over with elbow to the face if nothing happened to you. Like if I didn't do anything to make that happen. So that was one of those ones where I'm just like, man, I really wish that I could get that one back. I think now that my grappling is better too, like when I fought her, I was able to get her down for a second, but I didn't have the same ability to like cover her with the hips, the same ability to keep her down, to get that handcuff control and just really work on, or snatch her neck up. I didn't have the front headlock that I have now either. So there's a lot of things that I feel like I can do better if we were to fight again. And yeah, and I'm always working on my strike, and I'm always ready for that big shot. I think it's harder for her to commit to that big shot when someone's taking you down. So I'd love to get that one back. I feel like that was the last one where I just felt like, man, I have to finish people because otherwise I'm not gonna get the win. And I was able to get a few wins, decision wins after that, but I was happy to get closer to that ability to finish people in the fight.
And I saw on your record there was 2 times that the bout with Amanda Hebos was canceled. What exactly happened in those situations?
I don't know. I don't remember. When was the first one supposed to happen?
I think it was supposed to happen in like 2021, May 8th, and
Uh,
then 2021, June 5th. And then they were both canceled. And then you faced uh, Tessia Pennington instead. So something
huh.
just must have fell out. But now Amanda Hebos is going to be taking on Baby Shark. Um,
Oh, Heba. Sorry, I thought you said Lemos. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Amanda, I actually Hebus, I actually made weight for her. I made weight to fight her and the day of she got COVID. So I'm like waking up. I woke up, I did my shakeout and everything. And then the day of, they called me and they're like, hey, bad news, cancel your fight. And I was like, what? So then they tried to reschedule it for, I guess, 2 weeks later. But then they called me and they were like, oh, hey, so the fight has to be at 125. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Not 2 weeks later, but whenever that later date was. And they're like, oh, but it has to be at 125. Again, somebody who couldn't make weight in a certain amount of time, even though they already just made weight. So yeah, we said no because I walk around at 125. That would have been a huge detriment to me to fight someone like Hebus at a higher weight class. I wanted to get shriveled up and skinny first before I get a chance to hit her, and so I think that's the reason it got canceled the second time. But yeah, the first time was COVID, and we were joking that she was running around licking poles and at the casinos and stuff. But yeah, I've been chasing that fight for a while too. I would have loved to have that fight. Um, I think I can beat her up. I think what she does great is stall. She'll swarm in and have these big moments, but she doesn't really do as much with them. So yeah, I've been chasing that fight for a while too. She's super sweet. Her dad's super sweet, but like I feel like she's one of the ones who have been in the top 10 for a long time, even though she's only had really like one or two big wins in strawweight. I think people like they conflate her strawweight career and her flyweight career, and she's been in the top 10 for a long time in strawweight, even though she hasn't really been fighting in it. So I'm happy to see that she's being more active in strawweight now. So hopefully I'll get that one soon. But the fight I want most, more than any fight at strawweight, obviously, is Yasmin Lucindo. I feel like that would be a great matchup for me. I feel like stylistically, there's nothing that she can do to me, and I think I could do all the things to her. I think she has like solid grappling, but I just feel like mine's advanced, and I feel a lot slicker on the feet too. I remember her fight with Yasmin when she first burst onto the scene, and I feel like she still kind of looks like a similar fighter. She just has a little more aggression in the takedown category. So that's the fight I want more than anyone.
And Lucindo ranked number 8. Gillian Robertson just moved to number 9. And then we could probably potentially get some really great matchups there. When it comes to rating what you want most, I know you just said Lucindo at number 1. Who would be your second choice, your third choice, and maybe a fourth?
Um, I don't know. I think it all depends on who I could fight the soonest, because that's
Uh-huh.
that's like all I really care about. I want to get 3 in this year, so I guess I would be looking at like who fought the most recently, and I think with Lucindo, that matches up perfectly. If you're not looking at timing, I'd love to fight Robinson as well. I think I could really show out against her. I think my striking would look insane against her. And who else is there?
Now we
Lemos is
have
at the top there too. Who else you got?
Now we have Hebos and Baby Shark that is currently tied up, but I know you mentioned that like that one would be one that have been chasing for a while. And then in just the top 10 in general, uh, we still have Luma Lukbunmi, Luani already did, Tessia already did, uh, Yan
Oh,
Xiaonan,
Loma's ranked
Tatiana
now.
Suarez.
You
Yeah,
said Loma's ranked now.
15.
Oh, good for her. She's been outside of it for so long, and she just got a streak, I think, right? Like a 4-fight win streak or something. So
Hmm.
yeah, good for her. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd love to fight the top girls, but I think I need to be realistic with who's gonna be next. So I think it's definitely gonna be in between like 6 and 15. It'll be someone around there. So yeah, I think number one, Lucindo, number two, Robertson, and then number three, uh, Lemos. Lemos would be cool.
And if you could give any early predictions on how you think the Baby Shark versus Amanda Hebus fight would go, who's your pick and how?
Man, it's a weird one because Baby Shark, she's good at just like hopping in and landing her points and then getting out of danger's way. She's good at stalling too. Like they both do, they stall in different places. Hebus likes to stall on in top position and guard, and then Baby Shark likes to stall against the fence. So whoever gets to that position first, I feel like that's gonna be the winner. I think Hebus can definitely do a lot more damage though. Like if she opens up like she did against Pinheiro. I think she can like hurt Baby Shark a little bit before she gets to that position where she kind of holds and relies on that damage she did. And yeah, I think Ricci isn't gonna want to clinch into open too much with her just because of the hip throws, the judo stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I think I only felt one of them, and Ricci did feel really strong against the fence. I'd say I take Baby Shark, but again, it's a close one. Like you might see a classic Kibis hip throw to the sit on top and hit position. So yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be crazy. A 7 and 10 ranking matchup right there. I know you have a lot of training coming up, so I'm going to let you go. But before I do, is there anything you have coming up in the future that you want to let people know about?
Hmm. Not really. Like we've just been keeping our team going. If there's any girls out there who want to come out to San Diego and train, holler at your girl. But yeah, nothing really coming up right now. I'm gonna keep my eye on jiu-jitsu tournaments because that's the only thing I could really compete in while I'm in the UFC. But yeah, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to see who's next. I know they're going to be calling me soon because I feel like they've gone through everyone else on the roster who's fought last year already. So I had my fight in February. So I feel like I'm going to get a call soon.